control, right? And I think that RRQ Akira are taking a very good approach at locking down. Okay, let's take away team fight, Minotaur. That's one issue out of the way. Second thing, something that can actually supplement the mid lane and zone out the rest. I'm thinking along the lines of maybe even a potential Kufra. I'm thinking along the lines of maybe an opportunity for Angela even. Dinky is pretty... Oh boy, everybody's sour-pilled at this point.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like today taught us a lot, right? And with that, I think that's the right choice for them to go with, right? They want to deal with that. They want to be able to set things up themselves and not have to worry about getting these initiations that they're looking for, or even if they have to disengage. Again, this is the strength of Matilda. You can, what you called earlier, the feint, right? The feint, is that right? The feint?
Yes.
To deal with that, to bait out some of these ultimates, bait out some of these engages, and kind of keep them on their feet if they can. So, you know, with that, there's the Charisma ban as well. XP lane being focused on here.
Yeah, man, Blacklist International, they're really testing Takashi at this point of time. They're like, okay, if you want to play structured again, go for that Benedetta. Right? Just one more time.
We dare you. How about it?
He hate turret.
He just does. OhM and turret don't really go well.
Has the
OhM has the highest turret damage in a game in the M series. OhM's all about 42,790 with Brody versus RRQ Hoshi in M4.
This is going to be someone's IGN after today.
He hates turret.
He hates turret.
He just does.
OhM don't like turret. OhM like big damage, break turret, move fast.
Make snipes.
Make snipes, big damn.
There it is. We go. The Novaria picked up by Coach Cabral on behalf of RRQ Akira.
Imagine.
That's a lot of range. That's a lot of engagement,
Benedetta.
range, and variety for the Brazilians here.
I agree, but it still can get smothered. It's not necessarily a free win just yet. But one of the few picks that I would love to see here would be the Lolita.
Darn it! The classics!
They're
bringing it back!
Renejay!
The double!
Mr. Bacarse!
There was cheers for that and the Benedetta.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Hitman!
do you
Come
guys
on.
miss them?
Oh,
I
for
miss
both?
them
Oh,
a lot.
I closed my eyes as soon as I heard the
Venus,
answer.
if you
What?
see this message,
This
come
is
back.
too much. You
I
guys.
want to see you back in
If it's
MLBBC.
anything
God.
else,
Oh
it's
my
disappointment.
All right, we're in for a treat,
Okay,
folks. If y'all
obviously,
don't know,
Renejay doesn't
Blacklist is
perform
known
well with Estes,
for these heroes.
I would
That's
definitely
it.
miss Viva.
They're going for the throat,
Sorry.
idiot.
They are
But yeah.
going for the throat.
Benedetta's
I don't know,
a good
in
pick
most
here.
situations,
I called
like,
it.
you already
I
have
call
the
it.
Kai, but it starts to make sense now, right? Why they're getting rid of the Yuzong, why they're getting rid of the Charisma. You want to group together? Let's look for a punish. And
Right,
now,
EXP
we're going on a subpart EXP laner in the Grok to try to make sure. You stick together, wild charge.
When was the last time we saw Grok XP?
I do recall seeing it in M4. Right? I remember seeing it there, but it's been a while.
That's a year ago, Joseph.
It's been a year ago.
That's a year ago.
What the?
A year? Thousands of miles away from here. That's a year ago, but all right. The numbers will show very, very soon. Help us make sense of these two lineups. RRQ wins on the counter index, though.
Yes, it looks like they win on the counter areas, but keep in mind, early and mid game goes over to Blacklist International, and even late game potential can be very scary. Right now, RRQ Akira want to play towards that goal lane, and if they have the options to play around neutrals, they will try, but it's not their main focus.
All right, here we go. Game number 2. Match point
Grok
for the
EXP
Code
versus
Breakers as they execute Endgame Protocol, picking up some signature heroes, paying homage to the Queen. Renejay with the Estes. Who would have thought on day 2 we would have seen this? Let's get into the Land of Dawn. Check out these early rotations. It's a purple start for Sensui, the opposite for King.
Interesting. So they want to end up on the opposite sides of the map at the very least, and, well, sorry, the same sides of the map. But at the very least, we need to understand a couple of things, right? Number one, if we are expecting the... say it? Hello? Say it!
Look,
Okay,
just look
buddy,
at you.
As you were saying,
That is
it's
the
very
power
similar
of Lilia.
as first game.
Yeah,
Hard stop.
Hard stop it, real, truly. I think at the very least we're expecting, in terms of the quote-unquote the EXP laners, Edward is always going to be able to make it to the neutrals faster than Takashi. It's just a matter-of-fact sort of situation, right? So RRQ Akira needs to add that into their calculations and really protect the gold lane.
It is the skin, by the way, right? So,
Oh, there it is, yes!
yeah, there it
Haji's
is.
a killing machine.
And it's funny, too, because as you talk about the gold lane here, Gideon, you know, you also mentioned even the Ube back in what, it was M3 you mentioned, so now still Ube going to be the play here for this game, and even looking at the emblems, you can see they mean business.
They mean a lot of business as well. Fighter emblems coming from Benedetta, Atypical, Impure Rages coming all around for the side of Blacklist International, and Takashi having, I mean, he's on the ground. He needs this Weapon Master to really kind of step up and maintain control over that wave, or at the very least minimize the time he stays in it.
What I'm excited for is eventually what items these two teams build. If the Benedetta will be very different from the way Tekash built it, what kind of grok we're going to be seeing in the hands of Astro Thunder, and how they're prepping up for this first turtle, by the way. About 5 seconds from now, Blacklist International, small lead, 2 minutes in.
In case anybody was wondering when Blacklist International skin came out, quickly post that on screen. Every single time it happens, I'm going to mention it. But for now, at least, Takashi, he's going to hit level 4, which is great, but Sagan isn't level 4.
They're exactly where they want to be here. Again, going to force just King out. Even with the Electro final blow, Luis going to jump in with the guiding wind. Takashi looking for his own entry point, holding on to that wild charge.
Whoa!
King, though, will get the turtle. A good choice of positioning there for RRQ. Almost. It was Edward
What are you
that also
doing?
went down in that exchange.
Gusta!
Okay, battle spells are already coming out here. Things are looking much better for RRQ Akira at the very least. I mean, Renejay's here to top him back up so that OhM can stay in lane, but here comes Sagan and Luis.
The flank!
They're here. OhM gonna dodge that shot, so he should be fine. Gonna have the heal as well.
Bang!
Okay, torn apart memory, not gonna find the mark.
Tether's going to keep him topped up, but even Renejay is running out of mana at this point. So again, Blacklist International, as the mid lane is under control, RRQ Akira putting a lot of focus down and reinforcing the gold. But even so, these neutral objectives, right, it should have fallen into the hands of Blacklist International, but unfortunately they weren't able to fully reset this turtle. Small mistakes, not that big of a deal. At the end of the day, Blacklist International, with or without the turtle, really makes no difference.
That's interesting. Looking at the gold earned, Tekash on top, that means he hasn't missed a single wave, and he's been hitting on cue. Wow. Hasn't really moved. Now Sensui playing footsies with King. Renejay going to be healing him up. Oh, it's not going to break out into a full-on fight.
Yeah, just making their way up here. You can see a lot of the focus, though, once again, where they want to on that gold lane, like Gideon mentioned earlier. This is crucial for both teams here. So certainly going to be used by Luis. But they just pull back for now. Once again, we're still 30 seconds away from that turtle.
But why, though? But why would you want to go for the Circling Eagle in moments like this? Like, I guess it's just to open up the map, and I think Takashi, at the very least, yes, proxy that wave. Keep Edward stuck in that lane for as long as possible. Get that information about how many jungle creeps are still available down on that bottom side. Relay it back to your jungle and keep control over this top. 6 more seconds until that turtle. I think this time, RRQ Akira, wow, okay.
Well, the whole team here for this one right now. Once again, both gold laners going to this other side of the map, so they're going to try to work around it. But if RRQ Akira can secure themselves the second turtle, they're going to be on their way to a better position than they were in the previous game. And right now, they're after it. So Blacklist International, how's the answer? King's going to be able to secure the turtle, and they disengage after it. They make the right choice. RRQ Akira now gets the next objective.
Okay, it's RRQ Akira this time around, playing a game of inches. They're not going to force the issue, not going to go for big wins. Instead, they'll take turtle after turtle, win these lanes, and then eventually, when are we looking for them to get the payoff? Oh, wait, Gusta.
Gusta going to be in trouble here. Whittled down and taken down easily for Yue, putting him on the board. So caught, again, this is kind of what we expect here with this lineup from Blacklist.
There's your answer, Leo. That's exactly what they wanted to do. Catch him off that rotation and make sure that once OhM gets his very first item, then he's ready to rumble. More importantly so, right? Keep in mind that at least with King, he does have an inbuilt plan. So every time you see Edward trying to go for that, you know, Electro Final Blow into Petrify, it's not necessarily effective, but it does force out the heavy spin.
I mean, in a combat situation, yes, but look at the map. Blacklist International finding these windows, finding their angles, pushing bottom lane in. So already the King of Kings' map very small. OhM farming up, using that real estate. Look at that. 4K at 6.
Yeah, they're doing well at taking some of well, not really no man's lands POIs like River Crab, but also getting small invades, taking away Kobolds, taking away Beetles at the same time. And I think a lot of it is just well done. OhM is just very efficient at what he does, and Yue is doing a good job at making sure that Sagan is a little late on that rotate, and even if he does rotate late, he's losing out on EXP. Thus why we see the EXP difference between Yue and Sagan.
Oh, KL1 is eating good. Look at that, almost 1,000 ahead. Sensui catches a face full of CC from these two chunky boys up top. Sensui wants to engage.
Still Takashi, quite tanky himself, should be just fine. Waiting for the rest of the team. He gets whittled down quite a bit though, but Sagan has an answer of his own. But that's the thing. Renejay there to heal him up, and now a third turtle of the game for the takings. Luis gonna go in, circling Yue already taking the brunt of damage.
Oh my
down by
goodness.
Sagan, still gonna fight it down. Heavy spin used, King gets the third turtle. Still
Oh,
gonna fight it
Mamma
out.
Mia,
The
wall
wild
charge.
charge comes through. Edward has to get out of there.
Yes.
But OhM to answer,
it.
finds the kill on Takashi.
Nicely played by RRQ Akira. They force Yue to use the Purify as well as the Black Shoes to pull him out of position, but Takashi, he's so greedy. He's like, one power in nature. Just give me that kill over Edward. Let me hold it above his head.
All right, say what you will about that, biting him in the behind, but something tells me RRQ Akira have to go that fast, have to be just a little greedy, because come the mid-game, and we're fast approaching, by the way, folks, despite being a 0-3 on Turtles, I think Blacklist International has a great future in them. And when I say future, I'm saying maybe 2 minutes in, because looking at that last engagement for that last Turtle fight, you have to admit, mana is life and life is mana. As long as Renejay has mana and his skills aren't cooldown, RRQ Akira have to think about how to use their kit very, very specifically.
And that's why Sagan feels like he's so neutered in this game. It's like, oh yeah, I hit the nastiest skill shot from the longest range possible. Renejay is like, what? Didn't feel that.
That did what?
That did what? Did it happen? Nah, don't worry, it's just a scratch. It's just a flesh wound.
That's one of the strengths though here, and now the focus. Once again, the landing shot, but Yue gonna be healed back up. Gusta Lagusta also picking up that Malefic Roar, so they hold it together here. But RRQ Akira needs to be able to go toe-to-toe in a lot of these team fights and skirmishes.
Yeah, and so far still, you see RRQ Akira getting big wins, but it's not converting into real estate. Nothing on the map is going their way.
Oh, King trying to pull something off of there. Already using the heavy spin, now he's gonna be the focus. RRQ Akira trying to hold on to this tier 1 in the top lane.
This is actually kind of interesting. I feel like RRQ Akira are getting a little creative with this, right? There is a possible angle where they're able to use the Circling Eagle Guiding Winds to pull King into a back position and use the heavy spin to push them outside of the turret range. It's a radical idea, but I don't know. It's going to need a little bit of testing from RRQ Akira to find the moment to do so.
Yep, here we see 9 minutes in. Lord spawning in the lower quarter. Looking at the item game, still OhM 1,000 gold ahead. Takash fails to cancel the recall. What's the item game looking like here? Heptases, Malefic Roar, Hoss Claws, the Fury already onto OhM. Oh yeah, and again, key pickup here for Yue. The Queen's Wand.
Oh man, I've missed seeing OhM on an international stage. Just to see him, you blink 1 second and he's already 1,000 gold up, man. And he maintains it somehow.
Let's see if they can once again play around this objective. RRQ Akira knew what they had to do going to game 2.
Oh.
They've done an outstanding job still. Can they pull this one off? Luis going to use that Circling Eagle. They're trying to lure Blacklist International towards this side of the map. They got to watch out for Edward as well, looking for his own angle.
Everyone is visible. Save for OhM, alright, he shows himself. Alright, everyone is still visible. The statement still stands. I don't know where the stance is going, by the way. Both of them are willing to crack, I think.
I think both sides actually want to team fight pretty hard, but Renejay is being protected from all angles, and I think RRQ want to force out his ult.
Oh, they don't know where Abu Jinjing is. The Echo spots out 3, make that 4. They don't know where Edward is.
Yeah, they got to watch out for Edward. He's hugging this side here, looking for his own entry point. He's going to force
nice.
Edward.
That's it.
Trying to focus him down, already using the Electro final blow. Gusta Lagusta, though, wants the kill. The heals are there. King gets the Lord, and they're going to run for the base. Gusta Lagusta is going to fall. But RRQ Akira gets the objective.
It's good.
Okay. All right. Boy, a lot of things going on in that particular fight. And I think at the end of the day, just well done to King. Despite the chaos and madness, was still able to secure the Lord for themselves. And keep in mind, OhM, look at him just chunk out these turrets.
All right, they're gonna get
Ooh,
the
it hurts.
defense on tier 1 in mid.
Who's there?
But
Oh, okay,
I gotta say again, Blacklist International is so good on the turn. Something tells me they don't mind losing out on the level 1 Lord.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's not Luminous. It doesn't have the added charge to guaranteed structures, and still, even without the charge, Edward is still finding places on the map to squeeze himself in to milk the gold out of RRQ Akira's structure.
Oh,
no, he should be okay, right?
Yeah, he should be fine. Yeah, he's quite tanking himself, but they're going to throw a lot here, trying to get that mid turret down. But still, Edward doing his own work. This is what he loves to do.
Come on.
Thumbs up, gives it to him, gets the turret. And Electo final blows to safety. He's just fine.
Abun Jingjing wails away, cracks that tier 2 up top with impunity. No one could tell him anything.
Yeah, Mr. Papadopoulos was able to find RRQ Akira slacking. All these motions and movements is starting to get to RRQ Akira's head, right? They got to calm down. They really have to assess this situation. They start overcommitting. That's when Blacklist finds the holes to get that gold in their pockets. Because before this, it was 2-2, dead even. 500 gold difference. Now it's 1.7k. Only because they were caught slacking.
Yep. Something tells me RRQ Akira is holding out for one more big ticket moment. The clutch that they're looking for, that ramp up, they'll get more aggressive when Takashi says yes, when Takashi says go. Takashi has to hide in these bushes way better. He has to get that flicker while charge more consistently.
Oh, this could be his moment. He's actually looking for it here. They're going to press the go, but they're going to get whittled down here already. King being stopped in his tracks. Meanwhile, Edward pushing the top side. RRQ Akira, they've got to go answer to this.
Okay, at least respect the fact that they know the purifiers are up. If they pulled the trigger and forced it, they would have just bumped into Blacks International, they would have healed and then punished. So at least they know that.
I mean, the most that they would get is probably OhM, since he's the only one without the Purify. He's just confident that he can get out of every situation regardless. But I think that at least for the side of RRQ Akira, it's starting to get a bit uncomfortable for them because they need their entire composition to be together to actually make something happen. Blacklist International are totally fine playing 4-1 here because remember, Benedetta is just so much faster on the rotation compared to Takashi's Grok.
Dare I say, it can be 3-1-1. It's Renejay and the other two elsewhere splitting up. It's just Renejay plus. Doesn't matter. He's the heel man.
He's now the heel man, from hitman to heel man. And working for this Lord now. Once again, like we saw previously, Blacklist International, they were fine even losing that first Lord, but this one they're going to want to fight. They're going to want to force RRQ Akira to dance here, and that's exactly what they do. Multiple anti-heal items also for RRQ Akira could help turn the tide of the fight.
Lord dance already initiated. Blacklist with a slight advantage. Sensui with the pull and the hard reset by Takashi.
Nicely done coming in from Takashi. Keep in mind, King is a level ahead of Sensui, so generally it's in his advantage, but they gotta be careful, right? They gotta make sure that they're cleaning up these waves because Blacklist International are gonna keep pulling them apart. Look, Edward on the bottom side. Oh, whoa.
Oh, they're gonna try to sandwich them off here in the mid lane. Yue gets the heal through. King gonna use the heavy spin. He's gonna lock down Renejay. But where's the follow-up? They couldn't get it in time. Now Takashi goes in with wild charge, but he's gonna get cut off from the team. Has to flicker out. Everything thrown here, and Blacklist International has the go for the Lord.
All right, good news for RRQ Akira. Louise inside can still have their flicker, but bad news is Blacklist International makes a beeline for the Lord. They're blitzing this.
That right there is just gonna be a free Lord here for Blacklist International at this point, and we'll see how they march into the base of RRQ Akira. Again, they have work to do. RRQ Akira trying to hold down as much as they can in the mid lane. But what can they do with this pressure from Blacklist International?
I think that RRQ Akira, they need to, I mean, besides the fact that they need to clean up some of their wave management overall, I'm actually quite proud of them. The fact that they've been able to hold on this long in this particular manner against Blacklist International, of all teams out there, their big plateau that they've been trying to take over since M3. But in the meantime, I think the only way that they're going to be able to get ahead is if they can bait out that ult coming in from Renejay, force him to use it like they did just now. I mean, everything was going well for them. They were getting everything except they were getting stat checked, and the waves weren't in their favor. If we revert back time, if we had cleaner waves and we had the exact same execution, maybe RRQ Akira might have been able to bounce back.
We're looking at 16 minutes game time. Blacks International about 5,000 gold ahead. All waves crashing in, synchronized, orchestrated masterfully by the House of Black. They pulled through up top. Luis very low.
Edward already using that electro final blow. They still have to deal with the Lord here in the base of RRQ Akira. Most likely will lose the second turret as they do in the bottom side, holding on to that mid lane base turret.
Oh, the only one left. The main artery that RRQ Akira have to protect. Long lane, dead lane. Blacklist International is going to have the Lord dances of their lives. It's so much easier for them to get this Lord coming up in a minute and a half, but something tells me, I reckon, gentlemen, might not even get there because Blacklist, they want to push in.
They're going to push it in into the base. RRQ Akira trying to hold it down.
Alright.
They're trying their best. They keep them at bay. And with that, they stay in this game a little bit longer.
But the rest of the turrets is still
nice
alive out there.
Akira.
Oh
Very,
my
very
goodness,
nice
except
indeed.
for one
Just
turret
nice
down.
movement coming in from Gusta. Lagusta getting
What are
out of the
you
way
doing,
from
Akira?
especially from the Electro Final Blow, right? Which is the main engage tool for Blacklist International at the end of the day, other than Sensui. But for the most part, you don't want Sensui to be that far forward, and more so that he gets split off. You don't want your front line to get split up from your back line, which is what King has been trying to do this entire game. He's gotten close, but not there. Not almost there, you know, not there just yet.
Okay, the fact that we're looking at 3 and 2 at about 17 and a half minutes means RRQ Akira aren't forcing anything. They're letting these battle spells and these ults do the work for them, and they're paying the price on map real estate, on space, partly on farm. You know, 6K is a pretty hefty gap between you and your opponents, but at least you're not losing immediately. You're still in this. You've extended the game to a point wherein you can learn, you can adjust, and you can force out these engages. And to be fair, I think this Lord, it's not as 100% the Blacklist as it could be. But wait, they're engaging.
Luis gonna go with that circling eagle. Sensui was looking for his own entry point. Has to respect the damage though. Coming out from Gusta Lagusta. Now Lord gonna spawn here as they get us situated. Still Edward putting the pressure on the bottom side.
No, the RRQ Akira have to get ahead of the game right now. They need to start proxying these waves as soon as possible. All these waves are going to be coming in from every single side, and if they don't get a solid grip on the management, it's going to be a problem, right? As long as Takashi is relaying the information on what exactly Edward is doing, RRQ Akira might be able to make it happen. Oh, whoa! Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. Whoa! He's actually so low.
He's playing with a little danger here. He still has the Black Shoes and the Purify, so we'll get healed back up.
Oh no!
Wants to put the pressure on Sensui. They're gonna find the lockdown with a heavy spin. There's the heal though, but they get the kill.
Too late. The heal is too late.
Get it in. Takashi goes in with a wild charge, but they still have to turn the tide. Edward leading the front. They're going to back off for now. RRQ Akira still looking for more. They're happy with Sensui down, but they got to manage the waves as well into the base.
So many ults spent, so many battle spells spent for taking down one key hero. And they can't even capitalize because, again, as you mentioned, Joseph, they had to send people back home.
To me, I think it's totally worth it here. This is the first mistake we actually see coming out from Blacklist International. And now, whoa!
OhM also in the front of the side here, still dealing with it. Takashi comes to join Edward though, holding on with that immortality as well. They're buying so much time, waiting for Sensui to get back for this. Once again, Luis with the circling eagle. They'll find UA. Now Renejay there. King can't find the lockdown on OhM just yet. Finds him in the corner. Shot's not going to land. He still has the immortality. They have to work for it. Immortality finally popped. Takashi looking for the follow-up.
Go.
King still waiting for it, but he's going to be whittled down.
One more
What a save from Luis.
The Brazilian Express from Manila to Rio de Janeiro. He saved King.
Oh my God!
He saved his King, man.
Messed up there, but
oh
no,
my
all
goodness.
part of the plan.
That was a
RRQ Akira are here to play.
Edward's not done though.
Edward's still keeping him at bay. This is going to be a lord for Blacklist International.
No
RRQ Akira, they're going to have to recuperate here and wait for Gusta Lagusta to get up to defend the base to stay in this series.
The long con, amazing situational awareness by Blacklist International. You can mess up the pieces, but you can't beat the master plan. Amazing recovery from Blacklist, despite having noticed, if I'm not mistaken, the longest guiding wins I've seen in quite a while. They still have their eyes on the prize. Amazing Lord pickup, an evolved Lord scored by Black.
They're going to go ahead and
Oh,
zone
okay.
out
They can just
Sensui
afford
here
to take
with a
out
lot of
Sensui.
charge
His
as
job
well.
is done.
Immortality going to be popped, but Renejay and OhM here,
Bang.
they want to
But
get
the
back to the
view,
base.
whoa.
Edward trying to cut
Flank,
them off,
flank,
focusing on
Agent
Gusto
Zero coming.
Lagusta. Has
Wait,
an
wait,
immortality
wait,
of his
Agent
own.
Zero.
Lord now making his
Moonless
way
got
down
out.
the mid side as well.
Moonlight got
RRQ
out.
Akira trying to hold it all together here. They're going to clear the waves.
Oh, they're
Immortality
poking.
from Edward
Oh, that's fine,
already
that's fine,
popped.
that's fine, that's fine.
Still working
Oh, shit,
for
shit,
it.
shit, shit.
Takashi
Oh,
keeps
nice,
that
nice,
base.
nice, nice, nice.
Sensui
Oh!
apart memory.
Oh, no.
Goes through. It's a double for Gusto Lagusta.
Oh!
The shotgun land. Luis goes in, but
Nice.
it's a disaster for him as he gets taken down. But they stay in the game. RRQ Akira with a defense.
Whoa, Akira
Overheat.
taking a good defense,
Overheat.
Blacklist International could
That's
have ended
good.
right then and
though. This
there.
team's so good.
But
actually.
RRQ Akira took down the minions, attacked the Lord, and believed in whatever's out there and said, you know what, we're not gonna go down like this. Not here, not now. Here's the instant replay. I could have sworn that was it. I could have sworn there was like a minion here, a minion there, and the Lord, I guess they were out of range.
I mean, look at it, right? All of it boils down to, does Renejay have his ult? That's all it boils down. And if we're thinking, hey, Blacklist, they're the ones who overheated. Guess what? RRQ Akira do the same. They feel the exact same way. I'm an empath, of course I know.
Whew. Okay, to be fair, it's off of the back of Luis's call, and he believes there was enough damage remaining from those who were ready to take it,
okay.
and I guess that's where it all crumbled. That's a clear sign
But
of
hey, well, the
overheating.
defense is
So
so
now,
good from Akira though.
we got a
Wow.
moment to breathe.
Impressive,
We can digest
impressive.
what just went down. I gotta be honest, still not looking great for RRQ Akira. They've yet
Okay,
to crack
let's just-
anything from Blacklist.
Of course, they're not cracking anything off of Blacklist, but you can see that the ideas and the
Yes,
execution
so
is becoming
little.
cleaner and cleaner as the game
Oh,
goes
I-
by.
I-
And strangely enough, Blacklist International actually get chunked out, forcing Renejay to have to move away from Sensui to cover his butt and make sure that he's topped up. Instantly, we see RRQ Akira jump onto Sensui, and that's what started this bounce back from RRQ Akira.
And so far, RRQ Akira have been
Whoa, look at the
getting
crowds.
better, right?
I love
we
the crowds,
mentioned
man.
this, what, at the
Who
16,
designed
17
this,
minute
though?
mark. Hey, they're learning. They're figuring out how to actually
Look at the
isolate
fans.
members of Black from
Jeez.
this Uber recoded, this Uber as it's known locally. I'm wondering
I respect you, man.
what's next.
Whoever
I
did
guess
this, I respect
people have
you.
to stop overheating, and I have to admit, RRQ Akira is just outnumbered. You see the agents on the stands?
There's a lot of agents out there.
It's going to be a very, very silent haul if RRQ Akira win this. And I think that at the very least, when we're looking at the game as a whole, right, with some of the sloppy mistakes that happen, well, not really sloppy mistakes, but just like the general housekeeping, you know, you let
Yeah.
the dust build up inside the corner, and all of a sudden it's a hornet's nest, right? It's the worst case
the
scenario. That's worst case scenario. But you get the idea. These things start very, very small and build up very, very quickly. This is how Blacklists are able to etch out wins against some of the best teams in the world. They catch you slacking. They catch you throwing, you know, taking your spare change ever so slightly, and then it eventually builds up. I think that at least for RRQ Akira, the execution has kind of, you know, been minimized compared to game number one. But if they want to win this game, if they can get Renejay to use his ult super early on and find a way to at least forcefully take Sensui away from that fight, there's an opportunity. And, well, keep in mind, that big target, that hit marker, it's not just Sensui. If they can get OhM, that might just be game over.
Well, JC Sumandal says it's game. Indeed, it is game. The mandate of the King of Kings say, get the ult off of the Hitman, get those purifies off, and then we're talking business.
And with that, we're 30 seconds away from this next Lord here. So RRQ Akira, you gotta give props to them. They've done a great job. Their base has been exposed for a while, but they're staying in this game. And now we get to the point of this game where, you know, immortality start to play a role, Wind of Natures, the item jungling and everything else between both these teams.
Whoa.
Look at the real-time win rate.
All right, 75-25, that's pretty reasonable. That's not bad. All right, can I just say, I'm surprised. The gold lead just shrank, like in a snap,
Yeah.
down to 700.
It's honestly not as bad as it seems, other than the fact that the structures are missing and they don't have any inhibitors. But considering that, you know, Luis is very clearly subscribed to Grab Unlimited, he is saving his members time and time again.
Whoa. He's got that super app.
He's got the super
the
app.
Anything you need, man.
Anything you need.
Shields, heals,
Oh, wait a second. Hold up.
positioning.
Hold up.
damage. He has a good amount of wisps.
He's got a good amount of wisp,
Oh,
but Sagan is really starting
No,
to
they're
double
not.
up on the damage compared
They're
to
not.
everybody else. The
Fine,
poke
okay.
is actually putting in a good amount of work. And not to mention that Gustalo.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Edward
Edward,
could be
Edward,
trouble
oh!
here. Gets away fine though. Torn apart memory was going to be used as well.
Oh.
Dodging that shot as well. He backs off, trying to get back to base.
Close.
But RRQ Akira
finding
did it.
so
This
hard
is
to
what they
contest the
wanted. They
Lord, though.
wanted this
I
positioning
mean, to get a Lord.
for this Lord to at least start it up. Blacklist International though, still here, healing back up
Sorry, you go.
with the heal man.
Oh,
And
that's
Luis
the
taking
damage.
front of damage himself.
Okay, they need to go for the pull this time
Luis
around.
is the red potion.
Especially since previously, Gusta Lagusta, they know where he was. Big Astral Echoes there. Spots 3, maybe 4. OhMYVeenus protects his position. All right, here we go. RRQ Akira finally able to pull the Lord out.
This has got to be really annoying for RRQ.
I wonder,
Right? They want to play a
does
standard game, but they
Edward
always have to
did
do the
a
housekeeping
back-
every single time.
backdoor
Chores,
play
chores, chores,
successfully.
chores. Blacklist International can patiently wait it
Or
out.
he's just
It's
there
not
to
the onus is
big
not
push,
on Blacklist International
not,
to do
backdoor.
anything here. And if RRQ Akira really want to start
And
rolling
they've
the
never
dice,
seen
I'm confident
agency
Sensui
do
is
that
probably
backdoor
going to win
before.
that out, especially considering that at
If he's
least
able
the
to do
Grok,
this,
he
I'm
needs
very
to be
impressed.
nearby. But at the same time, you gotta
Whoa,
put it on
whoa,
outside.
whoa, 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 whoa.
Not only with that, again, Luis
It's just
is
insane.
going to
Oh,
go in with
Luis.
a circling eagle, keeping them at bay, still dancing for this Lord here. It's about half health. RRQ Akira finding it very difficult to find this own positioning to favor them. Blacklist International knows that they're whittled down a little bit. They don't have as much heal as they do.
Oh, no.
So Edward going to force them back towards that side. Sagan going to
Oh!
look at the damage there. They got to respect it. Yue holding down that mid.
Man, if somebody is going to make TikTok...
Oh,
okay,
no, no, no.
They're not going to
no.
completely commit to this, right? They're not. Okay, they're going to back up. Thank goodness. Because if anybody's going to make TikTok content, you should see how quickly Blacklist International make that decision. They all of a sudden, they see Sagan on that top side. Let's start taking space. Sagan disappears. They start giving away space.
And slowly but surely, RRQ Akira have garnered up quite the lead. 1,000 gold ahead already. 26 minutes
Edward's
in.
there.
The patience
Oh.
between these two teams, faded
Wait,
as they
the
are,
Venus are
to
actually-
face off against each other year after
Hey, the
year
Venus are
after
actually
year.
quite
In
good
the M
though.
series,
Someone can do a backdoor.
it's coming
I
down
think.
to this, the fact that we
No,
might
no,
see a
no.
game 3 because RRQ Akira have been learning. They've been figuring it out and they've been taking care of their lanes, their waves.
Real talk, boys.
Yeah.
At
One
what point
marksman
do you start
gone,
screaming into your
if
secret
they
lab
able-
chair,
I
hoping
think
that something is
they
going to
know this is
happen?
luck.
Because I don't have the patience.
Okay,
That's why I'm not a pro.
It could be here again. Edward jumping to the backside. Lord affording the health. Louise goes in. OhMYVeenus pushed back. Sensui also half health. Torn apart memory already going to be used. Still whittling
guys, chill
down.
down, chill down,
holding
chill
the front
down.
line and healed back up through
Oh,
Renejay.
man,
Lord
the Lord reset
resets again.
Poor Lord.
Drats foiled again. Both teams holding on. And again, the patience from both of them. They both know. They both are championship caliber world-class athletes. They know that patience is what holds you down, what changes the fact
Yes,
that you're still
positions
here
there.
and you're
Oh,
not
Mamma
losing
Mia.
weight. King holding
Don't
this
get the
group
Lord steal.
still.
Don't get the Lord steal.
Trying to cut them off here. King could be in
Please.
trouble. Heavy spin. Still has the immortality. Lord, is it going to go for another reset? Both teams still respecting the damage possible here. It's whittled down. It's whittled down.
Oh, Sensui gets it.
Gets the
Wow.
Lord, wins the retry battle. Now Luis on the run alongside King. They have to get back to the base. They have to get ready for this defense.
That's a fumble. That's a fumble if I've ever seen one.
The problem is that the fumble happened so far away, right? Luis overextends, uses the circling eagle, jumps toward where King was hiding, forcing him to use the heavy spin. That was his only way to keep himself clean from CC.
Something tells me it was Blacklist International's initiative as well to let King and Luis take that long push down
it's a
bottom to
Blaze
position
Despair,
them for the perfect. Something tells me they manufactured the fumble.
Manufactured the I mean, I gotta
Genius,
hear
Edward.
I gotta hear some mic checks to know that for sure. It's all
That guy's
theoretical,
just
but well
genius.
played so far for Blacklist International as RRQ are on the defense.
They have to stay in the
Oh,
game.
oh,
Edward
no.
gonna
Oh,
go in.
Gustav.
Forcing the wind of nature. Lord gonna be half health. They have to work it out. King using heavy spin. Can RRQ stay in for this game? Torn apart. Gonna
get
Luis
put
gonna
down.
fall. Base going down. The code is
Oh.
strong as Blacklist International
Now
sweeps the
that's
series.
the game. Game 1 is just nothing.
History repeats itself as a Blacklist International once again defeats RRQ Akira in tonight's closer.
Oh man, as Blacklist International walk off the stage, at least RRQ Akira have left an impression. I'm not seeing too many smiles up there. It definitely shows that the rest of the world is slowly watching and creeping up on Southeast Asia.
Hey, if you're able to take
Okay,
Blacklist
guys,
close to
I guess
30
that's
minutes,
just
you're
for
doing
the
something
game
right.
for Blacklist
pushed them to the
International and
limits.
also
You made
for,
them have
RRQ Akira.
to
History
figure
repeats
out a way to
as
make that
Blacklist
Lord Dance go
International
that
wins
way.
this
And
game
look at this,
again
the show
as
sportsmanship
for
between
today's
these two
closure,
teams.
quote by
Hey, I
Leo.
face after
Alright,
year
so
after year after
see
year.
you guys. And,
They've evolved. Look at
whoa.
that. Louise, man.
Love to see it, man. Again, sportsmanship here.
Yeah.
And like you guys mentioned, there was
good friends with
massive
me.
improvement this time around for game 2, right? You're looking at game 1, you look at game 2. This was quick learning, quick adjustment from RRQ
Oh, I just
Akira.
love this one.
Hats off to them for staying in that game even with an exposed base for so long. We'll see how that kind of transitions for the rest of their matches throughout the group stage here.
I think the only thing that RRQ Akira can really hold themselves accountable to is not the overall
Okay,
gameplay that they
we'll
had in
see you
game
in the
number
next
2.
game,
It's the fact
and,
that game number 1 went
ciao.
in that
Bye-bye.
particular fashion because
Don't forget
what?
to hit
It felt like
the
they were hiding it
follow,
for so
like,
long
share,
in game number
subscribe.
2. When did that happen?
And
Could have that
the
happened
social
in
media
game
are
number
all
1?
in the descriptions. Okay, ciao.
Well, I'm happy it came out anyways. Either way, this is the gift that keeps on giving.